Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're taking a look at the beast of the Mesozoic, Fan's Choice, Pyroraptor olympius. For those of you that don't know, the Beast of the Mesozoic series was sculpted and created by the very talented David Silva. This all started a couple years ago as a Kickstarter. David did an excellent job showing us from concept art to sculpting, even go out to the factories in China where these figures were being made. It showed us the entire action figure process. It was really cool to watch. I'm glad I took part in this. He has a Ceratopsian series, which is supposed to be starting this summer, which is highly anticipated. They look fantastic. I believe there's 16 total raptors in the main line. 4 of them are part of the Fan's Choice series. Right now, a couple of the original ones are getting a version 2 repaint, like the Velociraptor and the Dromaeosaurus. There's nestling sets. There's small dioramas that come with the smaller species like Microraptor and Troodon. So this is a really varied line right now. And with the Ceratopsians coming out, it's going to get even bigger. So with the brief history of the line out of the way, let's take a closer look at the packaging. It comes in a nice, small, attractive display box. You got some beautiful art right here of the Pyroraptor ripping apart something. Now these, like most dinosaur companies that sell models, these are action figures, yes. It has 16 points of articulation. You don't see that too often on most dinosaur toys. I know Mattel has the Jurassic World license now, but most of their figures, just basic articulation. This is truly a fully articulated dinosaur toy, which a lot of people have been waiting for, and David delivered. So getting back to the packaging, let me adjust my color there for a second. Got the art of the Pyroraptor in the front, and on the back it shows you the other 4 Fan Choice Raptors, which when the Kickstarter was going, everyone could vote on the color scheme of these 4. These are repaints of ones in the main line. Got a little bigger picture of the artwork, a little history of Pyroraptor, and this part right here actually slides over. A little tight on mine. And it gives you the instructions how to assemble your figure. The tail is off in the figure. You get 2 sets of toes, a display base, and a couple display rods. So now that we get the packaging out of the way, let's get this guy out of the box. And here is everything out of the package. You obviously get your raptor figure. You get a nice display base. You get a clear plastic rod which inserts into the base. And you get these 2 attachments. This one is meant to clip into the pelvic region of the figure. And the other one is meant for the stomach, chest area to rest on it. Now you also get a pair of toes. These are the closed toes on the figure. It comes with the open toes. Now also on the display base, underneath this rock right here, is storage for the toes. There's 2 little pegs. And you just clip these right in. And you have a nice spot to store your toes. Very neat feature. As I said earlier, the tail does come unattached on all the raptor figures. What you want to do is just push it on this ball joint right here, and it'll snap right in. And since we're talking about the tail base actually detaches from the body. And as you can see, there's 2 attachment points. The upper one is to have the tail in a lower position, and the bottom one is to have it in a higher position. So to reinsert it, just going to use a little bit of force, and it'll pop back in. Pretty cool. Nice to have little options like that. Now that we went over the accessories, let's get this guy posed up and take a closer look. And here is the Pyroraptor all posed up, and it looks fantastic. What David did with each raptor, he used the color scheme of existing bird species and applied it to the raptors, which is really cool since the Dromaeosaurids are related to birds. For the Fan's Choice Pyroraptor, he ended up using a varied thrush. As you can see, he mimicked the colors perfectly on this. There's also another paint variant of the Pyroraptor. It's the one in the regular assortment. It's a different color, so if you end up getting two of these, one could be the male and one could be the female. Obviously, I would consider this one the male. I'll say one thing about trying to get these guys posed on the display stands. It can be a little tricky depending on what pose you're going for. I have a few of the figures from this set, and some of the ball joints in the base and up here, they feel a little bit loose. A quick fix for that is to either use a clear coat of nail polish or some super glue, let it dry fully. It'll add another layer to the plastic, and hopefully you'll make it a tighter fit so you can get some better poses out of it. There isn't a lot of fossil material for Pyroraptor. What is known consists mostly of the feet, a tail vertebrae, a couple backbones, the hands, and a couple assorted teeth. So what this model is mostly based off of is better known dromaeosaurid members. So let's pull this guy in and take a closer look. Get him off his base right here. As you can see, the head is beautifully sculpted. David did a great job sculpting in all different types of feathers along the head, body, legs. The only part that really aren't covered in feathers are the feet and the hands. The mouth can open and close, and the tongue is actually articulated. I've talked to a few people, and they actually didn't know the tongue was articulated until I told them. I actually found out on accident when I got my Sauronitolestes. The tongue looked a little crooked to me. I thought it was a molding error until I touched it, and it moved, so that was a cool surprise. The neck can rotate 360 degrees, can move up and down. Now there's 26 points of articulation on these figures. Arms can rotate, got a bend at the elbow. The hands can move. Now this is one complaint I've heard from people that, they want their models to be as accurate as possible, is that the primary feathers aren't attached to these two fingers. That's not a big deal to me. It's just a small nitpick that some people have picked up on, but I can understand why it was done with the construction of these figures. It would have been very hard to mold it with these, because he used different parts and swapped them around on the figures just so this project didn't get out of control expensive. He had a couple different sets of hands that he plug in, different types of feathers, so on and so on. So the body has a rotation here just before the legs. You can't get too much movement out of it, a little side to side and a little bit up and down. The legs can pivot out and rotate 360. It can bend at the knee and also rotate at the knee. Get a bend at the shins right here. The toes can rotate, and these also actually pop off if you want to put in the other toe set. And the sickle claw is articulated. Now these claws are actually kind of sharp. These figures aren't meant for kids. They're in the package and it says 15 plus. These are meant more for older people, collector. They're not meant to be toys, bashed around and played with. You don't want your kids getting stabby with the little raptor claws. The tail is on a ball joint that can rotate, and this part of the tail can rotate too. And the tail actually has a bendable wire in it, so you can bend the tail, different positions. You can see all that nice paint work put into this. You get some nice metallic white along the thighs, nice black. All the figures are beautifully painted. They did a really, really good job. You can see the detail inside the mouth, the gums, the teeth. Beautifully painted eye. Absolutely great figure. I own 4 of the figures in the Raptor set, and this one is by far my favorite. I think it's just the bold color scheme that he went with this figure. Absolutely love it. And here's the Pyroraptor next to another figure in the line, the Dromaeosaurus. I absolutely love this line. Back in the mid to late 90s, there was a toy company called Resaurus, and they had a similar line of dinosaur figures that were articulated and had bendable rubber tails. And here is one of them. This is their Deinonychus. I absolutely loved this line when it came out. We really didn't have any fully articulated dinosaur toys. You know, Kenner had the Jurassic Park line, and those had either no articulation or very, very limited. So when these came out, these are really cool. They were not meant to be played with because they were prone to their joint pins popping out, easily get paint scuffed. So, oh, and David, if you're listening, please make a feathered Deinonychus. So I was very happy to see these come out. They're a nice homage to the Resaurus Carnage collection. You know, my parents bought me the whole line when I was younger for my birthday. It was an awesome surprise. Still one of my favorite in my dinosaur collection. And it's also nice to see that the Dromaeosaurids are being featured, more prominently featured with feathers, because, you know, most of the public's perception of these animals is this. Jurassic Park did a great job of really bringing dinosaurs into the public eye. You know, they didn't look like this. You know, a lot of people, you know, the movies are still coming out. The raptors still look big and scaly and reptilian. So this line is breath of fresh air for a lot of dinosaur enthusiasts. So David did an amazing job with this. I only got 4 of the figures so far, but I am highly, highly looking forward to the Ceratopsian set. And as far as any one of these figures, I highly recommend them. You can't go wrong. They cost about $40 each. You can get them from Big Bad Toy Store. Everything Dinosaur stocks them. And you can order them directly from David's website, Creative Beast Studios. I'll leave a link in the description to his website if you're interested in these figures. And as always, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.